countdown begins.
Fresh.
You're listening to the Plumbing Sales Coach, where we give companies the strategies and skills to create a massive customer following.
Fresh.
And now, your host, Chris. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Plumbing Sales Coach's The Fresh Approach. And today we're going to be talking about something that's so important. Now, if you grasp today's concept, you'll be able to control your revenue. You'll literally be able to, and we're going to go through everything you need to be able to grasp this concept. But if you grasp this concept, something we talked about often, but I'm going to give it to you in a slightly different view. And we might go a little bit over today on time, but I really want to make sure you guys understand this because this is the key to not only controlling your revenue. I was thinking about this. This is literally how I've made just about every dollar I've ever made in my adult life. No matter what industry I've been in, no matter who I've worked for. I've worked for some companies that are nationwide. I've ranked in the top 10% for those companies. In sales, I've been in plumbing. I've helped plumbing companies all over the country, even in other countries, even in other continents. And it all comes back to this same thing. And it doesn't matter what your strategy is, doesn't matter what you're selling, doesn't matter what you're doing. It all comes back to this. Before we get too far into that, I want to make sure that you guys are aware we've got an ebook. This ebook is something that's going to help you business owners in the service plumbing game completely grasp and understand how to generate big money the right way. Now, it's also going to help you get your life back. I know some of you are stressed out. Go to our website, fill out the form on there, and in the problem section, your biggest problem, just say, hey, I want the ebook. Give me the ebook. Tell us what your biggest problem is too. It may surprise you with a little bit of bonus training, but go out there and fill out that form and we'll get you that ebook. Now, today we're going to be talking about some of the stuff as it relates back to that ebook and the things that we're alluding to in there. And one of those things is this concept of value stacking. Now, I know a lot of you have heard me use the word value stacking. And when you grasp this concept, when you grasp this ability, this skill set, it's called value proposition. If you're reading a book right now and somebody else was writing it, it would be called value proposition. But value proposition doesn't do it any justice because value stacking has different elements and different layers to it. And so we're going to talk through how the rest of the world uses this in our lives and in people's lives that we know and our customers' lives, more importantly. And they use it in a way that not only demonstrates that it works, but man, it really amplifies its power. And I want you guys to understand this. I really, please hope that today is something that at the end of this one, you feel like, wow, I actually am better now. I'm going to be able to go out and perform better and make more money, even on your very next call, because that's what we're going to talk about today, a skill set that'll fix things immediately. Number one, I was trying to think through how am I going to explain value stacking? Well, it takes weeks of training for a lot of technicians to start grasping this concept at the first level and then maximize that level. You know, even when we talk about value proposition, we talk about talking about benefits and features, and there's different layers to that. And the first thought I had with value stacking was Black Friday. You know, Black Friday is something that happens here in the United States. I know we've got a lot of listeners all across the world. It's a phenomenon where people basically show up on the day after our traditional Thanksgiving, on the day after all of our big box stores, all of our vendors, if you will, they put this big sale out so that people will come shop at their store. In fact, people line up huge lines everywhere. We even have stories on the news, and sadly, of people getting hurt because of the greed kicking in and the limited number of deals. In fact, the bigger overarching thing that we're going to talk about today that basically drives these three factors is what drives these people to get hurt, what drives this greed, what drives these lines, drives people to stand. You know, it's some people that listen to this show might be in somewhere like California where it's warm, and you're like, okay, what's the big deal? Well, go to Detroit, go to Indianapolis, go to Chicago. You know, go somewhere where it's 10 degrees outside that night or that morning, or -5 degrees out. and they're still standing in lines, pitching tents, and doing crazy stuff. We see this happen in other situations, but on Black Friday we see it because it's driven by value deals, sales, discounts, bargains. And sometimes it could be something as simple as I've seen controllers with free skins, a $19 product stacked on top of a $50 product, and people are going crazy over this stuff. Or $75 off of a TV, but it's really not $75 off of a TV. What they did was they took a surround sound system that cost the store $75 and they threw it in for free on a full price TV, which is basically like $75 off. To the store, it's the same thing. To the customer, it's a whole world of difference. And when you grasp that right there, folks, woo, it's going to be hard for your customer to say no to you when the deal is just too hard to pass up. Now, Black Friday does it in a lot of different ways. Limited number of supply, that's one way. You'll see this with like Nintendo releases a product. You'll see this when it comes to the store having maybe like a gangbuster, blockbuster, a doorbuster. That's their favorite word, doorbusters. So it's like, man, it's nuts, man. Some of these stores like Kohl's, so if some of you are familiar with Kohl's and Sears, JCPenney's, some of the big chains. It's funny, man. They'll do like this Black Friday sale, and then that's all day, and the store opens at 10 p.m. the night before, or 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 1 a.m., some ridiculous, crazy time that I look at it and I'm like, is this real? People actually go out there? And they're looking at this, and they're thinking to themselves, I'm going to get this amazing deal. And so they go, okay, all day long we've got this special, but from 4 to 6 a.m. we've got these doorbusters. And people have to be there for that. And I look at the doorbusters and I'm like, that wouldn't make me stand in line. Some earmuffs that no one's ever going to wear. I remember I went to a Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. They have their tryouts here, and it's a small, Indianapolis is a big city, but it's a small city at the same time. And so up in Anderson, kind of out in the country, they got a university out there, and the Colts did their tryouts or their spring training out there. And the year Andrew Luck came to town, Peyton Manning had just left. Andrew Luck came to town. Reggie Wayne was still here, and it was a big deal. Andrew Luck was a big deal. Okay, a lot of people went out there. It was probably, in Indianapolis, we got a lot of humidity. And it's a black top event, meaning it's this black asphalt. Everything's on black asphalt, and then they play out on the field. And it was probably 90, 92 degrees out that day, and it was hot. I'm talking hot. The humidity was just ridiculous. It was hot. And I had my 6 kids with me, and they were giving away spray bottle fans and stuff. And I remember seeing this line that was ridiculously long, even for Disneyland. And it was Comcast, which, by the way, is a cable company that most people don't even like here. And they were giving, you stand in line, you go up there and you spin the wheel, and they had this wheel that looked like my kids made in their basement. And they were giving away fanny packs, visors. I can't make this up. Fanny packs. Who wears those? Visors. Okay, first of all, who wears fanny packs? But who's going to wear a Comcast fanny pack? Let's keep this real right now. That's the thing. The producer's going, what about the combo? What if they won the visor and the fanny pack? You'd had to have gotten back in line to try to win the visor. And the wheel had like 30 prizes on it, and none of them were good. One of them was 3 months of free Comcast. I got to think there was a catch to that. Like, you get 3 months for free, but then we're going to charge you for the next 3 months, and all 6 months of it's going to suck. It's like, what? Line was long, man. Line was long. Meanwhile, over off, not more than 1,000 feet away is Andrew Luck throwing passes to Reggie Wayne. Like, why isn't everybody over there? Why isn't everybody over there watching Andrew Luck throw passes to Reggie Wayne? It's amazing. Nope. Got to get that visor. Got to get that fanny pack. I can't make this stuff up, man. That's what Black Friday will do to people. That's what it will do to you. Now, if you believe in this, what I'm talking about right now, that makes you a part of something. You're in the Fresh Force. The Fresh Force is all of you that follow this podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, get alerts to when these podcasts release. Also, Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've been starting to put a lot of videos on there. We've moved a lot of our stuff from Facebook onto YouTube. They're on both places, but you can see the full catalog of stuff on YouTube. I think we're getting up to about like 20 views now, which is fun. But if you feel like you need to watch the videos that have the thousands of views, then go over to our Facebook page, and that's where most of our view count is. And you can watch it with all the other people watch it, and you can comment. But if you just want to go over to YouTube, it's simpler and easier. You can go over there. But bottom line is we got all of our products and stuff like that. And go see, be a part of this thing. Comment, like the page, follow us. All right. Point 2. Here's another phenomenon when it comes to value stacking, and that is the way that Apple. It's not just Apple. You see this with video games. You see this with different things, but the way they release their products. Okay, this is a limited fear of missing out, which is the biggest point I want to make today. FOMO. That's what's driving the first point. The Black Friday, your only opportunity to save the $50, your only opportunity to get the free thing with the thing, your only opportunity. And FOMO drives this one, because there's a limited supply. Now, how does that apply to a plumbing world? Well, in the plumbing world, limited supply might simply be a limited time right now because I'm in your home. Okay, otherwise you got to get back in line for the visor, for the fanny pack. Comcast, like, oh, nice fanny pack, bro. What's it say on it? Comcast, that's tight. Where'd you get that? Like, that conversation is not taking place. And you give it to your kids, like, here you go, son, I got this for you. And he's like, why? Why'd you get this for me, Dad? Do you not like me? Did I do something wrong? Is this punishment? Do I have to wear it? No, you can keep your stuff in it. I don't want to. What if my friends see this? All right, I'll move on from that. But I just couldn't believe, me and my wife were just like, what in the world? All right, Apple release is a powerful. The people go nuts over this stuff. I mean, I don't get it. It's a phone, right? But now, as I say that, I had the Apple 11 for a month, and then the Apple 12 came out, and then I got it. I had to like literally move a phone to my son's. So I'm basically, my son got upgraded to an Apple 11 so I can get the Apple 12. Made sense to me because I'm getting the Apple 12. And that's what people do. No one even had to tell me. That was a $1,200 purchase. I mean, you talk about a pointless purchase. There's one right there. And I did it. And I'm happy. I'm glad I did it. I'm okay with it. I'm even waiting for it to show up in the mail for 2 weeks. Every day looking at the mail. Not really. It's cold here. But the bigger point I'm trying to make is that when you can give people a reason to want the product or service, they will do it. You know, oftentimes when I talk about overcoming objections, there's this idea that you're on an island, you're on a small island, and the customer's on, what you want to sell is on a different island. And the bigger the distance between your island and that island, the harder it is for the customer to want to make that swim, so to speak. And so you got to build a bridge. And the better you value stack that bridge, basically equates to the customer a sturdier, safer looking bridge to walk across. And maybe even a shorter gap between the islands, if you will. And this analogy works because what we're doing is we're reducing the risk of saying yes. And that's what it all comes, that's what value stacking does. This is why if I go to McDonald's or I go to any, you've heard me use the fast food chain analogies, but if I go there and I'm not super convinced that I want the fries and drink and they're full price, the odds of me getting the combo go way down. And I may not even get the burger, and I might get something off the value meal. And then all of a sudden when I look at that value menu and I realize that I'm saving $2 off the fries and $1 off the drink, and it's like dang near getting the fries for free, and it's like, oh my gosh, or I'm basically getting the burger for $3 because it becomes a lot easier to get the combo. In fact, it becomes a lot harder not to get the combo. And that's the reality of what I see time and time again in the homes. It's not so much that the customer feels pushed or convinced to go with option 3. It's that they're feeling pressure of like, why wouldn't I? This is the best deal I'm going to get. It's not going to get any better. It's kind of like when someone goes to a car lot and wants to buy a used car. But then they start looking at the price of the used car and the new car and they go, wait a minute. It's almost the same price. How could I not get the new one? Some of you are like, when does that ever happen? Honda dealership. So and I want you to pay attention to how these other companies do this, because this is the magic. I mean, what do you want? You want your customers to want it or feel like you're being pushy? Or do you want them to feel like they're being told they need it? Or do you want them to feel like they're not really sure that they need it, but you make a compelling case? Now, forget all that. Make a compelling case because the facts are there and the evidence there. Show them the plumbing. Let the plumbing lead to the plumbing. Go back to our diagnosing. I think that was our last podcast. Go back to diagnosing. But once you've diagnosed it, once you've made your case, give them a reason. Give them a reason. You know, think about this. You go before the judge and you've got all this evidence and you're like, look, I'm innocent. And the judge is like, I don't know. Like, I'm innocent. Look, here's this. He's like, okay, you make a pretty good case. Let me go think about it. You're like, look, before you do that, let me give you a couple of reasons. And all of a sudden you start value stacking this judge with his favorite coffee and all these bribery things that are probably highly illegal, which I'm not recommending you do. It's going to make it harder for the judge to say no, right? Especially if the evidence is there. I know that's a weird example. I don't even know. Obviously, we didn't write that one down ahead of time. But I still think you could draw the point out of that to where you realize, okay, look, if I'm in front of my customer and they can see the evidence for needing the softener, they can see the evidence for needing new shutoffs, they can see the evidence for why it might make sense to replace all 3 toilets now, they can see the evidence for why it might make sense to go ahead and swap the water heater out a year before it leaks all over the place because it's 15 years old, and yeah, you could probably get another year out of it, but why take the risk? Once you've shown that evidence, give them a reason. Value stack. Black Friday. Option 3 could always be considered. In fact, in our deeper level training, we talk about it as either being the Black Friday option or the Costco option. Yeah, we can hook you up with a really good deal on these bottles of water. Yeah, we can hook you up on these K-Cups for your Keurig, but you have to buy 438 of them. We've got a little ongoing joke here about some energy drinks that I made a little bit of a decision on one time. I literally spent over $500 one-time purchase at Costco on energy drinks. That was 6 months ago, and we still have energy drinks here at the office. 5 hour, baby. What happened was they had a discount on the same cases that we already buy. And then they said there was a limit. And I said, well, shoot. If they're going to limit me, I better max that out. And I did. And then I bought a bunch of cases of 5 hour energy or whatever, the Costco version. Here's the moral of the story. I sold myself. There is no better salesman. There is no better salesperson. There is no better sales agent in the world than the customer is to themselves. That customer might not be able to sell anybody else on anything, but they can sure sell themselves. Every human's capable of doing it. Okay, look, if you want to learn more about this kind of stuff, like everybody runs around thinking, I need better guys. No, you need to make your guys better, train them. You don't need more calls. You need to do more with the calls. You don't need buying customers. I need customers that are ready to buy. No, you need to give your customers a reason to buy. This is extremely important to grasp because the mindset is the first thing we need to change. And then I need to show you how to do it. We offer tons of coaching. We have products and packages that will help you, your team, your CSRs, your technicians. We can fix your price book. We can fix your marketing. We can fix your everything. I can give you the blueprint. Just got to go to our website, www.theplumbingsalescoach.com, and request some information. Request the ebook, request information, reach out to us. We will reach out back. One of our growth service strategy experts will contact you and we will help you out. But I can promise you this, your ticket average and your conversion rates will go up. Why is that? Because we're going to teach you the value stacking that we're talking about today. Now, the first point we made was it's Black Friday. This idea that people come out in droves, if you will, because they want to be able to get the deal, get the bargain, get the big savings, get the big whatever. Even literally knocking people over to get to the items. The second point we said was, hey, it's not always about discounts. Sometimes it's about a limited availability. Sometimes it's about right now. Sometimes it's about this is what we have, come get it until it's gone while supplies last. Apple's release of products is a prime example of that. PS5 is a big deal right now. If you're listening to this 4 years from now, you're like, PS5? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can't get one. I got 6 kids at home, 2 in the military, so I have 8 kids total if you're keeping track there. All mine, all me and my wife's one at a time, old school. But can't get a PS5. People are paying top dollar for a PS. People buy PS5. People spend money ahead. I read an article. People spend money ahead of time. They buy bots. What are these programmed softwares that they can use then on websites to buy, that will automate the purchase of when they release something, so they can buy 4 or 5 of them before they sell out. You know, because it's a computer program, basically an algorithm. And they're investing into this. It's a business, folks. They buy these things and then they turn around and they sell them on different websites for double the price. All because people need to get it. In 6 months from now, there'll be PS5s available everywhere. In 6 months from now, there'll be PS5s available everywhere. Mark my words. Well, depends, I guess, with the pandemic, but usually that's how it works. But yet this phenomenon still happens. If you're missing out, man, I got to have that game right now. I got to level up. Like, what? Okay, the last thing is the main thing is the main thing. What you will never see happen on a PlayStation 5 is somebody putting controllers and games and all these different things on sale, and then they attach the console unit in a backwards motion. Meaning what I'm saying is they're never going to stack the discount on the controller. They're going to stack it on the console. So you're going to have to buy the console to get these other items for cheaper, especially in the beginning. When it comes to restaurants, they do the same thing. If you look at the sides and the drinks, they don't have a menu section where it's like all these combo packages of sides and drinks. Like you can get 2 sodas, 2 fries, and a chicken wing for like, it doesn't work like that. What happens is you can get the steak and it comes with sides. You can get the $15 steak for $22. Let's be honest, if you're at Chili's, you can get the $5 steak for $22. And it comes with the $4 broccoli and the $3 baked potato. Comes with it, it's free. Is it though? Is it? Go to McDonald's and tell me where the deal is. When you really think about what I'm saying right now, like how much is that Big Mac really supposed to cost? And then are you really getting the fries? When you look at the combo and you're like, all right, well, so the Big Mac is supposed, Big Mac shouldn't be more than like $4, but it's 7 something, whatever it is, you know? And you get the point here. Like you go to I saw, what was it? Burger King. $8 burgers. What? Burger King's a name. It's not real. You're not the king of burgers. Five Guys is killing you. In-N-Out is killing you. Burger King, you're just a different McDonald's. But you got these super expensive hamburgers and all of a sudden people are paying $10 for a king size value meal. You $10 at lunch. Do you know what you can spend? You can go to a restaurant and spend $6.99 and get a better meal. Convenience. They keep the main thing though. They stack all that stuff up on top of the burger. How do I know that? Because let's just look at the burger itself. You're going to pay $7 for that burger. You could remove the bun. You could remove the lettuce. You can remove the onion, you can remove the tomato, and it's still going to be $7 for that burger. Everything else you're being forced to buy. It's all being stacked in there. Okay, how does this work in a plumbing situation? You go out to a call and the customer's got a running toilet. That's the main thing to them. Now, you might uncover that they've got high water pressure. You might uncover that they've got bad water condition. You might uncover that they've got 25-year-old toilets and they need new toilets. They need new shutoffs. They need to replumb. They need a new water heater. They need a new this. You might uncover all that. I get all that. But the main thing to them is that toilet. It's your job to educate them, as we talked about in the last podcast, educate them on how to go about understanding what's wrong and what needs to be fixed in their home through diagnosing properly, and then value stacking in a way that gives them a reason to go ahead and do it now. Look, if I can go to the tire shop and pay $100 for a tire today, and I can go back in a month or two and pay $100 for the second one, and I can go back whenever and get the third one and the fourth one, or I can get it all done today for $400, there's really, and I don't really need the other three right this second. There's really no reason for me to do that. There's really no reason for me to pay the $400 right now when it's only going to cost me $400 over the long haul. Maybe a minor inconvenience having to go in there a few times. But if that deal's $300 today or $400 over the long haul, everything starts to change. I start to think about that differently. You get what I'm saying? And in plumbing, when they started educating me on like, hey, well, let's look at your tires. This tire's flat, so we got to replace this one. These ones are going to go flat. Now, I just want to let you know, these ones could go flat at 65 miles down the road with your family in the car. Oh, well, shoot, maybe I should just go ahead and pay the $400 and get it all done now, because now there's a bigger risk at hand if I don't. Hey, look, this water heater's 15 years old. It could last 16 years, could last 20 years old, but we are getting at the end of its life. You know, this could just stop working. It could leak. It could do a lot of different things. I'd recommend go ahead and swapping it out. And if you want to go ahead and do it today, I can take care of, here's a really good one. Keeping the main thing. Let's talk about a faucet dripping or a shower valve, a cartridge rebuild, and it's caused because of 110 PSI. And you go in there and you say, look, I can put a new cartridge in your faucet, or I could put a new fill valve in your toilet or whatever it is. Or I could put in a new PRV and stop this issue from continuously happening and causing you to have to spend these little minor $256 charges. Or option 3, I can give you a discount on a new faucet if you're willing to get the PRV. And you'd be surprised how many people are like, well, shoot, let's just go ahead and upgrade the faucet, put in the PRV, and be done with this. Or you can give a discount on, or no discount. You could just recommend, hey, look, I can give you a PRV. Well, go ahead and fix the faucet, but if you take the PRV, that's going to solve the bigger issue and keep you from having to buy more cartridge rebuilds, faucet rebuilds, toilet rebuilds, whatever. And the bigger thing here is the bigger the reason you give them a reason to do it now, that option I just gave right there might get them to do it, might get them to do it the next time around. But if there was a small discount attached to that, whoo. Now, if I was like, hey, look, you put in a PRV, and now you probably need an expansion tank, and your water heater is 15 years old, and you called me out here for a toilet rebuild. But if you just do a new if you just do a new water heater and a PRV and an expansion tank, I'll fix the toilet for free. If you do a tankless, we'll put a brand new toilet in, we'll upgrade it. If you do a tankless and a softener and a PRV, I'll put all 3 new toilets in for free, and we'll upgrade you on those. Think about the power in what we're talking about. This is what causes these big box stores to have big, long lines. Look, it's all in the ebook. All this stuff we talk about is in the ebook. Go get the ebook. It's free. Go to www.theplumbingsalescoach.com. Fill out the form and just say, hey, I want the ebook. Give me the ebook, yo. Demand it. We'll send it to you. And that ebook will help you understand this concept of not just value stacking, but the bigger blueprint, the bigger point here of how you actually turn your plumbing company not only into a profit machine, but being able to make money the right way where customers are just falling in love with you. Okay? Now, look, guys, don't forget, go get subscribed to YouTube. Go get subscribed to our Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We put memes and photos and different content out all the time. Always trying to make the industry better. Always trying to make you better because we love you. And as always, just like we want to do, serve your communities and everything, not just plumbing. You guys have a great afternoon.
Fresh.